welcome back to Singletrack Session number 22.
That's right.
Right? Because it's an episode, but it's a single-track session.
Right.
And we're still in the Bomber studio, which we're making a nice home for.
Yep.
We just need to buy new equipment, leave a set here, take a set with us, build a studio over here in the corner, like a legit studio.
No, it's too cold in here to do that, man. If we're going to build a studio somewhere, I got room in my basement.
There you go.
Totally do that.
There we go.
Make a little man cave down there.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. I'm all about that. We can get a little kegerator from Turtle.
No.
That wouldn't work? That wouldn't work? You'd never get out of your basement?
Well, so this brings up a good point. So Turtle Miller is our next episode, and off mic he was telling us the story of how he had a keg and how much of a commitment it was. I don't want that commitment. Yeah. I'm not ready to that commitment.
That could turn you into a full-fledged alcoholic / beer gut permo, right?
Definitely not.
Yeah.
No.
So, but yeah, we're back here. It's kind of a gloomy day.
I am ready for some sun.
Man, it is just overcast, been raining, and we've had such a large amount of snow. It's just turning into slush. It's dirty looking now. It's just kind of blah.
I feel like I'm living in Ohio again because this is what it was like living in Ohio all the time. Gray and just kind of blah.
Man, that's not my thing at all. I mean, if we didn't have the snow and stuff, I'm okay with the rain.
Yeah, because then we can go out and run still on the trails.
Yeah, but it's
right
so
now,
sloppy.
There's no trail running happening.
I don't care what you're wearing. You could wear your mucklucks and it'd be horribly moist out there. No, I'm not supposed to use that word, but we did. Anyway, we had a good week. We've had people sending us some photos for Singletrack Session. We've had Richard Allen.
Yep.
He sent us some really cool ones, wearing a beanie at the Washington Monument, some trails in Virginia, guys getting around, sending us some cool photos. Keep the Singletrack Session photos coming to us. We'll post those when we launch shows.
Yep.
And then always with your gear. You know, we can't say enough how cool that is to see our gear in cool places.
We saw it last weekend.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we'll touch that for sure. Let's see what else. Strava page is getting bigger. The Trail Manners little Strava page.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's 120 plus
Is
now.
it really?
Yeah, it's growing.
Right on.
It's growing.
I think last week when I looked, it was like 90.
Yeah, it's growing. So that's a lot of fun. And then, of course, we just launched Tuesday, episode 66.
Yeah.
Misty Alessandri.
Boy, she crushed it.
That was such a good show.
Yeah.
It really was. And we've got a lot of positive feedback on social media saying, what a great show. Love the stories. Need more like this. She's so entertaining. And she really is everything described in the nicest person, and obviously you could hear that come across in her voice and her stories.
Right. I have tried my best to get her to swear at me, and never.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I've beat the mess out of her in the gym, and she would never take my name in vain. That's how nice she is.
Which has never been a problem for anybody else.
I know, right?
Or outside the gym sometimes, for that matter. But yeah, it was such a great show, and we'll have more of those coming your way. Where and it's always hard to say because you never want it to sound like you're knocking anything. Yeah, but it's like your average runner, right?
Yeah,
I mean, is that kind of a good way to say it? Yeah, the everyday runner.
Everyday runner.
We've had the quote unquote air quotes here, the elite runners, people winning the big races, right? Because she won Pony Express, and I can't say she's not winning races, but it's just like the everyday runner, and hearing her stories grow. Like, it was awesome to hear. Oh yeah, I started just on a treadmill,
right?
And then most people, it's like, I went from road to trail. She went from like treadmill to track to road to trail, right? So it's a little more of a progression.
Four-step
process. But those are all, they're good stories. There's a ton of them out there.
Yeah.
So we're always looking for those, and we're just fortunate that we know Misty.
Yeah.
And she was able to open up to us and share her awesome stories, especially
she's a good kid.
the
I like her.
one. So that was an awesome one. And then the upcoming show we have next week, as Joel just mentioned, we sat down with Turtle Miller.
And this might be the longest show we've ever had.
It's not.
It's not?
Yeah, it was a little over an hour. It wasn't as long.
It felt like it was 2 hours.
It felt like a long show, and I think it's because we ran out of Lagunitas. Yeah. So I just left it an empty cup most of the time. But yeah, it was Turtle's third time
on
our show. And you'll hear a lot more about the show on what we're kind of doing with him a little bit. But if we lost listeners on that show, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It was interesting. It kind of went all over the place, which was kind of fun. It was freestyling, right?
Yeah.
Little freestyle.
Yep.
But it's always entertaining to talk to Turtle, and it's always nice that he takes the time out of his schedule to join us. He was in Salt Lake, came down to Bomber, which is in Ogden, in his new rig.
Yeah, his new Sprinter.
It's a new Mercedes Sprinter van. So that's going to be a good show that we launch next Tuesday that we're looking forward to. And even with that show, what we talked about, and even some previous shows we've been talking about kind of our racing schedule.
Yeah.
And races either we've signed up for
right,
or we're looking at. And as we all know, Joel is just loading the calendar.
I'm trying my best.
He's every time. I mean, I'll probably walk away today, and at lunchtime I'm going to get a text that he's got some other race signed up for or whatever. Because you're teasing me with races now.
Yeah, exactly. That Red Mountain 55K. It's in St. George.
Yeah,
that looks good.
Yeah, and I like I said, the history I knew on it was like road and double track fire type road.
Yeah.
And so I was like, but then I went and looked at the information. I'm like, wait a minute, these are like loops.
Yeah.
But they're different loops.
Legit trails.
Yes. Was it Santa Clara Reserve or something like that?
Santa Clara
down there?
Reserve is where it's at.
So it looks, I mean, there's some hills. So it looks, now it's entertaining, and it's the right time of year,
Yes,
right? Early
definitely.
March.
Yep.
Not a high profile race, but it's nice to get out of town.
Yep. Get down some dry trails, some warmth.
And I've been trying to justify this in my head. I'm like, okay, so I have my big races or my races right now don't start till July.
Right.
But it's like March would be a good test, right, to see where I'm at, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of good to run that 55K in March and say, okay, here's where I'm at. This is what I need to change, do, increase, decrease, whatever.
Right.
Because we'll be at Buffalo, just kind of hanging out.
Just hanging.
Still think about Behind the Rocks at the end of March, but I don't know, that St. George one now that you teased me with it.
Oh, good.
It's like when you dropped the donuts thing
like
months ago. Oh, we should have some this donut. And I'm like, no, I'm on donuts. You're like my enabler. I think that's what it is. So.
That St. George race looks pretty legit. I was talking to Jim Skaggs about it this morning when they were working out, and he said the same thing. It used to be like mixture of road and fire road.
Okay.
And the time that he ran it, he was on his way to a 50K PR. Well, it goes through like a neighborhood, or it used to go through a neighborhood. And some guy went out and sabotaged the course.
Oh, awesome.
And so what happened is the course was going by some dude's house, and he didn't want the course to go by his house. So he went out and he actually changed the direction of the course.
Just rerouted.
So instead of people going straight, he had them go right.
Oh, man.
And so all these leaders got off course for a solid 2 miles.
Oh,
so they did 4 extra miles.
That sucks.
That sucks, man. That's a ding-dong move right there.
Yeah, someone needs to
I would have had some. Jim said the sheriff had some serious words with the individual.
Good.
My words would have been right and left fist.
Yeah, right.
Come on, you can't do that to somebody.
Thunder and lightning.
Yeah, that's right.
That's funny.
But yeah, then Kelsey Bingham, who is going to win the bear, she was in the gym this morning working out as well. And she goes, oh, yeah, because she used to be a professional mountain biker. She goes, I've ridden those trails. She goes, they're legit. She goes, it's awesome. I was like, well, now I got to really sign up.
Yeah, I got to find how that's going to work.
Yeah,
that's
me too.
All. But yeah, that's definitely now it's another possibility. My list keeps growing where it should be shrinking, like dialing in. This is where I'm going to be.
Right. I think, last year it was like, okay, there's a couple races I'm going to focus on. And for the most part, worked. I mean, it hit all the times I wanted to. And this year it's like this shotgun blast.
That's what it's looking like. Because I get a text from you and I don't know what's going to be on there. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Because I gotta fill my my spring to summertime, and there's a lot of good races, and some I've done.
Totally.
But the thing I like about that one, though, is it's one I haven't done.
Yeah,
and that's part of what I want to do is more races I have not done.
Me too.
And it's hard because you find your favorites or races you like or races you want to go back and better your time.
Yeah, because you're comfortable with them.
Yeah. Like I haven't run Buffalo Run for a couple of years, and I love that race.
Right.
Because it's fun. And I know my times, and I know where I can beat, and it's a good place to hang out.
Yep.
Timp Trail's another one that I'm on the fence on because I love that course.
Me too.
And so I'm on the fence. And then yesterday at some point, maybe it was last night, I don't even know, we were talking about Speed Goat again.
We were talking Speed Goat again. Because it might be its last year.
It could be, because the rumor that this year was.
Yeah.
Or last year was, and then he's bringing it back this year.
Right. And he could be doing that every year just to generate interest, right?
But, I mean, he doesn't usually have a problem with it. But, yeah, I mean, that's so we start talking about Speed Goat. And I'm like, gosh, dang it. Every time I talk about Speed Goat, I throw up in my mouth a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? And then we have the following weekend, we're already registered for El Vaquero.
I know.
So if I do Speed Goat, then I'm going into El Vaquero with
tired.
I'm going to be beat. And so that's
yeah, I don't want to go to Speed Goat and have a slow time because I don't want to spend more time on that course than you need to.
Oh, no.
Because like we were talking about last night, there's no place to hide on that course.
Nope.
And you're up above tree line the whole time. You're at elevation. You're just getting your butt handed to you.
Yeah.
And like you said last night, you're always going up. You're always going down. There's no break in
There's
between.
no recovery, man.
No.
And even an aid station, you sit down, and they usually just try and kick you out because they need to.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no rest for the wicked on that.
Yeah.
So that's still, I mean, it's, well, and then we got Beaverhead.
Yeah, you got like Beaverhead 3 weeks before.
Yeah, so
you got the hard 100K 3 weeks before.
Yeah, so the more we talk about it right now, the more I think I'll go down to Spiegel and watch.
Yeah.
I think so.
Get your volunteer hours for Wasatch or
yeah.
for the Bear that way.
I mean, I hate to say that, but you know, I do want to do well at Beaverhead, and I would like to do well at El Vaquero.
Right.
Because I've never gone into that feeling solid, and it is year 5, so it'd be fun to PR that, which isn't going to be difficult for me, hopefully. But get the buckle there. But yeah, there's just so many races we've been thrown out there now. But the springtime, that's when I want to race. Like, I'm getting anxious because I haven't raced for a long time, it feels like. And I'm like, well, I have to wait till Beaverhead as of right now.
Yeah,
I know I'll be doing before that, but there's a lot. And you know,
I think the weather's making everybody anxious.
It's
more than anything else.
It's making me anxious, and I hate to say it, but maybe a little lazy.
Yeah.
It's
tough.
Grumpy weather.
It is grumpy weather.
Yeah.
It's been raining and snowing nonstop since basically Christmas.
Yeah. Or freezing cold.
Or
those days that are clear, it's like -5.
That was a rough spell. I mean, I know it's not like freaking Afton, Wyoming weather.
Yeah.
Or Jackson Hole weather.
But it's different for us. We're not used to it. Like in Afton, you expect it. Those places we don't expect it.
There's a reason I moved away from Jackson.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
As I say, that's more than one. Summer '93. There's
exactly.
all the different ones we talk about.
Right.
But yeah, so there's all these different races. I mean, we talk Scout Mountain is another one that's early June.
That'd be fun to go do again.
Yeah, I think that's still one of my ones that are probably higher on the maybe list. You know, is Scout Mountain. So there's that one, and then what else we got? What else are we talking about? We've talked about
race wise.
I mean, you got Zion though in April. I don't have anything till July.
I got Zion.
You got the 100.
Get my butt in shape.
So yeah, you probably should do like Red Mountain or something before that.
Yeah, I should.
Red Mountain would be good because I can't imagine the trails are going to be too terribly different than Zion, like far as the contour or the style.
I think it'll be really similar,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, so it kind of give you
right. I think it looks like from what I've seen the Red Mountain race, you can run.
Yeah. And you can run Zion.
Yeah, there's a couple. There's like
Grafton.
Yeah, the Grafton climb. Some of that you're not going to run.
Yeah.
Just because there's a lot of high step ups, and then the Flying Monkey you can run quite a bit of that. Yeah, and then Gooseberry, that one. Yeah, that's power hike.
That is a good one.
That is mostly power hike. That thing is a beast.
So yeah, you gotta get out there.
I know.
And I know you're trying to enable me.
Yeah.
And as people know, I'm not hard to sway in a lot of things when it comes to like beer, food, and running. So it's kind of easy to push me in that direction. Peer pressure works. Let's just say that. But we also want to talk about Rufa coming up.
That's coming up.
It's like less than a month away. It's less than it's February 11th. So yeah, we're about a month out.
We're a month out
today. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think there's 74 registered, and I think his limit was 120, 125?
Something like that. So he's going to be really close.
Yeah, 24-hour, there's 22 entrants, 12-hour, 30, and 6-hour, 22, which surprises me. I thought there'd be more 6-hour.
Yeah. Now, so when we were talking to Turtle last night, he came up with a good point. He goes, hey, I signed up for the 24-hour event. And I looked at Turtle and his extra 50 pounds he's got on him right now.
Yeah.
I said, dude, your quad's going to be trash. He goes, well, I look at it this way. He goes, I'm probably only going to do 6 hours. Mm-hmm. But then the money that I've given them is going to be donated to
the cause.
Right. And that's spot on. That's the way to do it, right? That was awesome. And it is raining and snowing.
It's sleeting
again.
Right this minute. And it wasn't just a minute ago. It's that. But yeah, so Rufa is, especially if you're local, you know, I mean, sometimes in February and a lot of people, it's just a jaunt, but it's a great cause. And even if you're far away, you can look at the cause and it's okay to, help out a little bit.
I think they have a donate button there where you can go to Utah Clean Air and you can make a donation.
Yeah,
it's going to be very helpful. So many people, like this year, we've only had one bad inversion cycle. It was bad. It got ugly. We had like the worst or the second worst air in the whole country, and maybe just behind China, which is an embarrassment.
It really is. Especially because it's so beautiful and we're so quote unquote outdoor state, you know.
So yeah, definitely that has to be on everybody's mind. It has to be, you have to keep pushing, your local leaders and your state leaders to embrace that change because it's only going to get worse.
It's not going to get better.
No, because we just keep getting more and more people moving to the Wasatch Front, more cars, more pollution. Yeah. It's not going away anytime soon.
And, Jared does such a great job. And Turtle was even talking.
Yeah.
He goes, man, I couldn't believe that, Jared knew my name and he was so happy last year.
That was a good story. So you need to definitely listen to the Turtle podcast, Turtle number 3 podcast.
Yeah, which
at
is
least
number
for that
67,
story.
and he's not happy about that either.
No.
But yeah, it's a good cause, good event.
Right.
I probably won't be running it. I'm just not ready for the grind.
Man, I don't know.
But you know what? It's funny is Curtis Thompson and Corey Vigil, a couple friends of ours that we run with, they're volunteering the 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Saturday shift, so they're sleeping on top Friday night. Yeah,
that'll be fun.
They said they have an expedition tent. And
I hope they have an expedition sleeping bag.
Yeah, so I told them, I said, there's going to be some snuggling and some spooning going on. Just be ready, and it's okay, right? Just don't video it, and no one will know.
No Facebook Live.
Yeah, right? But, you can still volunteer for the event.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that would be really cool.
Right.
Just to help out, again, and that's kind of what it is, and that's what we're talking about it a little bit to help out there.
So kind of on the same lines, did you see Peter Metcalf, what he dropped on everybody the other day? You know who Peter Metcalf is?
I don't. I've heard the name sounds familiar.
Black Diamond.
Oh, okay. No,
that Peter Metcalf.
Okay.
Right? He's the president of Black Diamond, right? And also the president of the outdoor industry, right? So he's kind of like drives the OR show, or he used to at least. And he really called out the Utah legislatures and the government and said, it's time for the OR show to move.
Ooh.
Because you ding-dongs are not embracing the outdoor businesses, basically. And you just want to sell off all this public land. And that'll be a big hit to the state if they move.
Well, it's a good thing. I mean, if you're going to bring the outdoor retailers to Utah and say, hey, this is what we're about, but you don't, you only do that 6 days of the year.
Yeah.
Do the 2 shows, and then the rest of the 360 plus days or 350, you're just like, yeah, whatever.
Right.
Just bring us our money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that the Metcalf was saying, listen, this is this is just totally fictional, but maybe we bring in $50 billion a year to the state. The outdoor industry does. Somewhere along that lines. And we have how many thousands of jobs that are supported by that? And if you compare that to, coal and gas and natural gas, the amount of jobs that's created by the outdoor industry is much higher.
Yeah.
And much more sustainable. So he's got a point. It'll be interesting to see what happens going forward with that, if he's just trying to gain leverage or if he's actually going to do it.
Well, I mean, because there was a couple years ago where the contract was running out and they were thinking about moving it because of space.
Same thing. It was the same thing. He was trying to gain leverage. He kind of did, but it didn't go anywhere because we're back to square one.
And it's not getting better.
No.
Right? And we've talked about this for quite a few years. Obviously not on the show. We haven't been around that long. But for years, we've been having this discussion. It's been, in the media. But now there's he's speaking up. Jared's doing his thing speaking up. So hopefully it can just draw more attention to that, hopefully.
Yeah.
Because
but I don't think that
need
they're
to be
going to
done.
change, to be honest. I mean, they're so entrenched with their ways and their thinking. They don't value the outdoor industry and what it brings to the state and how it brings jobs. And they're good jobs. They're not...
Well, even if they're not interested in that, at some point you would think they need to be interested in their health.
Oh no, definitely not. They don't care about that.
I have, what if you have kids, grandkids, friends?
I mean, they have kids and grandkids, but obviously they just don't. Either they don't care or they're willfully ignorant, and in both cases are not acceptable.
You think they're ignorant because it's a timing thing? Maybe it's it's only a few months of the year.
No, I don't. I just think it's their. Man, we're getting into a whole rabbit hole here. I just think it's just the way they're hardwired, their beliefs.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's too bad.
Yeah.
It does. It needs to change. But, back to Jared, just support the cause.
Did she hit that pole?
It looks like she did.
Oh, liquor store casualty.
Yeah.
She hit the pole.
Some Toyota. Is that a Toyota?
No, it's a Nissan.
Nissan hit it. So maybe she should have waited to have her beverage until she got home.
It's 11 in the morning, dude. She's been jonesing all night.
See, we got great views here other than the sucky weather. Oh, yeah.
Turtle didn't believe that
there was a liquor store.
Yeah,
across the
last night
street.
he was like, "You do have a liquor store next door." Yes, we do.
Yeah, we weren't kidding.
Nonstop entertainment. She's driving right away too.
Yeah, she is. She's like, I'm not gonna say anything. Let's see the bumper. Can't really tell. Nice little truck.
Yeah.
Maybe she just kissed it.
Yeah.
That's all. Let's see. So what else we got? Well, we need to talk about the Ogden Trail Running Festival.
Oh, yeah.
Switching gears a little bit.
All right. So we've sold how many tickets so far?
71.
So we only have 29 left.
Yep. 29 seats available for the film festival
I
on
am
Friday
really
night.
surprised we sold that many in the first few days. I'm happy.
I'm happy, but I really thought we would sell out. Well, it's still time. As I say, I thought we'd sell out within 2 weeks. So yeah, I guess we're still on course.
I was going to give us 2 to 3 weeks to sell it out. So I'm going to still shoot for 2 weeks. I think we can sell it out in 2 weeks. Now this is just the film festival.
Yep, and that's where we need to make a little clarification on
Right.
that. Is when we set it up through Ultra Sign Up, there's a little quirk. Right?
There was.
And I struggle with it a little bit, but we'll just say there was a quirk, and it's on there as the Ogden Trail Running Festival -film.
Right.
All the information is there for Friday's film.
Yeah.
But the pricing went to $25 for the 10-miler. Right. That's what it said.
Yeah.
And so people signed up, and I think a majority, if 90+% knew what they were signing up for.
That's right.
But there was a small percentage that did think that it was a race. And there were some that thought it was a race only, which okay, and there was some that thought it was the film festival and a race. And so we sent an email to everybody that registered and said, "Hey, listen, there was a mix-up. This was for the film festival only, and it's $25. And like we've mentioned in the past, I mean, you're going to get more than that out of what you're going to be there for.
Right.
And we said, if there was a misunderstanding, we absolutely apologize, and we offer a full refund, everything.
Absolutely.
Because there was and we know we're going to sell the tickets, and we don't want you to be going away unhappy.
Right.
So we've got a few emails. So hopefully we've got all the pre-registered kind of people taken care of.
I think we did.
Because I sent an email to everybody.
That is straight now.
And now it's fixed on the website to where it's like film.
On the Ultra Sign Up website.
Yeah. And so
now if you go to
set.
the Ogden Trail Fest website, the only thing on there right now is the film festival information.
Yes.
There is no information on Saturday right now because we're still sorting that out.
Yeah, and we wanted to get the film launch done out now.
Right.
And now the website will include, going forward sooner, it will have stuff on Saturday. Because there is Saturday, but we're still... We're 90% sure what's going to happen, how, but we're adding. So it's not like we're subtracting. It's not like we're like, oh, we can't do that. It's more like, oh, we should do this. So we're adding to the event.
Or somebody, or like a sponsor goes, hey, do you mind if we do this service for those people on Saturday? Like, well, yeah,
sure, let's
go
do
for it.
Yeah, let's just bettering the community and the running and the event. So yeah, as of right now, the only thing you can register for, the only thing available is on Ultra Sign Up, and there are still a few tickets left for the film festival. And again, we'll have to reiterate, because it happens, I don't care if you're a race director, because we've done that, we can only sell 100 tickets.
Yes.
So if you're 101, if you have 2 people, and there's only 1 ticket left, you get 1 person.
Yeah.
Like, we can only take 100 people.
Yeah.
Right. And
we don't want to oversell it because really it will become uncomfortable then.
Yep. And there's no wait list.
Nope.
Right. So if you need 2 to more tickets, you better do it now.
I think
that's just a forewarning. If you need 1, if you want to wait a couple days, you can roll those dice too.
Oh, don't do that.
But we've had people buy 4 and 5 tickets per person.
And you can do that. And that's another thing we need to clarify. If you buy multiple tickets, which you can, right now there's only one option for a T-shirt for yours.
But we'll get you squared away.
What we're going to do is we're going to send out another email. Say, hey, we know that you bought multiple tickets. What size of T-shirt would you like? Also include the gender.
Yep.
Men's medium, women's
We'll send
small.
out a cool little thing for you. And don't go by the Ultra Sign Up registration page, because it doesn't say we've sold 71 tickets. It just shows there's like 40 or maybe 50 registered people, but some of those people have ordered 2 to 4 tickets or more.
Exactly.
So if you're looking at that going, oh, I got time, there's only 50 names.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. So
we're not creating this artificial demand. It's there. We download the Excel file, the CSV file, and just do a little summation. We're like, oh, there's 71 tickets sold already.
Because we need to make sure we cut it at 100. So that's what we wanted to clear up on that. But as Joel mentioned, we're adding to the event. We have a few new sponsors we just picked up officially this week.
Yep. So Run.
RUHN.
I wish it was Rune.
I know, Rune.
That'd be so much cooler.
So it's a compression apparel wear, and it's really taken off here in Utah because it's a Utah company.
Yep.
And they're picking up some steam for sure.
Yeah,
and we hope that we've helped with that.
It's comfortable stuff.
It is. So they make pants and shorts that are compression.
Yep.
And they also make 2 tops. They
Yep.
make a quarter zip and then just your long sleeve. And I've got the long sleeve and the pants, which we'll be doing a review on.
Right.
I'm still got to get my hands on that quarter zip because that's good looking. And I think I see a lot more people wearing that. And I like quarter zips personally. But so they're a sponsor, and they're going to be at the expo.
Yep, with their gear.
And they're going to have, apparently just kind of under the wire, they're going to have a little drawing for some cool stuff.
Nice, I like drawings.
Yeah, we're talking to them, a drawing. So that's one. And then we have another one that picked up on the ultimate level, which is, one of our sponsor levels that's sold out now.
Right, so that's a local physical therapist. It's called the Clinic.
PT.
Physical Therapy and Human Performance. Is that it?
I know. It's on our website.
Yeah, it's the
Joel's
it's
have it
the
on
clinic.
Our website. Yeah, the clinic is what it's called.
Is what it's called. And he's a good guy. Actually, when I met him yesterday, or when you and I sat down for a luncheon with him yesterday, I was like, dude, I know you from back in the day at Weber State. That was so cool to see him.
Small world.
It is.
And he's talked about offering some services at the expo after the race that we're talking about.
Like maybe a foam rolling clinic, or maybe, like a little bit of, what runners really need to be kind of healthy throughout the year. So maybe like a prehab clinic. So hip strengthening, hip mobility, something along those lines. So we're going to have that as well.
Yep. So we've picked up a couple great sponsors.
Right.
We do have a few sponsor spots left. Our title sponsor's gone. Our ultimate level's gone. But we have the signature sponsor.
Right.
Which if you want information, just let us know, manners@trailmanners.com or joel@trailmanners.com.
Yep.
And there's also spots at the expo.
At the expo. And let's call it, there's one person I'd like to see at the expo right now. Aaron Williams' wife.
Oh, yeah.
She makes jewelry.
Yep. And it's awesome. Like, you sent me a text yesterday.
Yes, as soon as I saw it, I was like, one, that's cool jewelry. Two, I was like, I want her at the expo.
That'd be awesome to have her at a little booth to sell that, because it's super, super cool. She's on Etsy. Is that
She's on Etsy, yeah.
So I think there's a store there, but
we'll have the link in the show notes for this show.
Yeah,
so that way you can go and you can check that out real fast.
Because it's some cool.
She makes some cool stuff.
Gear.
Have you ever seen that stuff? It's by Kaylee. She makes like belt buckles. She's the person that makes all the belt buckles for
Zion.
For those guys, for Zion and Bryce. So she does a good job. So it's kind of like on par with that, right? Like super rad stuff, but it's made here locally. I like it.
It's got earrings, necklaces, bracelets. But yeah, we'll have that link because, again, ultra runner, trail runner. But that'd be cool to have.
I'd like to see her there. That'd be cool.
Awesome. Then it's a little caveat.
Yeah, and if hey, so that's another point. We would like to see more people there for the expo, and that's what we're trying to build up right now. Yeah. If you know of a company that you think would be a good addition, and it could be like artwork like this, jewelry, whatever, send them our way.
Yep, put up we'll have a little pop-up there, little tent. They can bring their tent.
Yep.
Have a full-on expo. And there's going to be, like Joel mentioned, in the past shows, we're looking to put that race on the Gibb Wallace Memorial.
Right.
So there's going to be a lot going on that day. We got clinics going on. We're going to have a few other things that we are trying to add to.
Is going to be there.
Yep, Solomon is just kicking in hardcore.
Yeah,
they're going to.
Suffer Better is going to be there with their gear.
How's
and
that
their
from
message,
Colorado?
which would be cool.
Yep.
I think Squirrel Nut Butter will be there with their butter.
Yep. And
if your bits need some butter before the race, we can make that happen.
Or even other parts.
Yeah.
Not just the bits. But yeah, so we've got some great sponsors, and we've talked to some great people that are, just getting their stuff together, because we do have some information for them. But yeah, like Joel said, if you know anybody that'd be a good fit for our expo on Saturday at the park, send them our way. Or if there's a sponsor, we have a couple spots left for those.
We do.
We only have a certain amount that we want to fill for that, just to kind of keep it legit.
Right.
But everybody's going to benefit from this, so
yeah,
keep the ideas and keep the info coming.
Right.
Speaking of gear, Joel is got a gear garage coming up.
We do.
Yep.
Egg weights.
Egg weights.
Yeah. So we tested them last weekend. I took them to the Weber State track, ran with them there, took them out into the wild, ran with them there, and so I'm ready to do a nice little review on them.
Yeah,
They're pretty cool little things.
They are cool.
Yeah. I know Ty Draney's been giving me a hard time about it, but
that's what Ty does.
He does, and I appreciate Coach Draney giving me a hard time on that.
That's just a running form thing because of the slush.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was rough.
That was rough. But yeah, so we'll have a gear garage on that, and there's a few more we have lined up for that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be a good one on Friday.
I know.
And then Joel mentioned he took him out into the wild.
Yeah.
And we have a quick little story about the wild. On that day, we're running. There's pretty much nobody out.
We were the only people out.
Yeah, pretty much. We're breaking trail. Yeah. Like it was an out and back. We broke trail on the way out, and it was snowing so hard we broke trail on the way back to our car. But on the way back to our car, we came across a couple other hardy
Hardy
runners.
Souls that had Trail Manor gear on.
Both runners had Trail Manners shirts on.
That is so much fun to see that.
It's awesome.
And what was funny is we came up on them and I immediately recognized who they were. I was like, "What's up, fellas?" And all of a sudden they start stripping off their clothes. I'm like, I didn't know it was this kind of party. But what they're trying to do is show us their Trail Manners gear.
Yep.
So maybe that needs to be a prerequisite. Anytime you see us, automatically strip.
That's right. You got to show us your gear.
That's right.
But it was awesome because it was Brad Wojciechowski, who's been nothing but a huge support with
He's bought everything.
Gear. Yeah, he pretty much has. And his buddy
John Lee.
Yeah.
Did you see Wojciechowski's picture when his whole family had Trail Manners?
I called him
hoodies.
out. I called out his wife on social media.
That was cool.
Because she talked about having hers on. I'm like, well, that's cool. And she goes, Brad's got his on. I'm like, prove it. Let's see it. So she posted a photo with him. But it was super cool to see him on the trail.
Yeah. Good guys, too.
Oh, amazing guys. And I have a good history with Brad. He's just one of those guys that's...
He's solid.
Solid, man. He's just one
solid
of the
in many
guys.
ways. He's a little husky, right? He's got a good frame on him.
He's a strong
strong hoss.
Yeah. So quick stories about Brad, which he will be fine if I share.
Or maybe he might not be. But that's okay. You have my permission.
Okay, Joe signed me off. So I was a high school soccer coach locally at Clearfield High School, Go Falcons. And I didn't go to high school there. But anyway.
Roy boy.
But now I'm more of a Clearfield guy because I was there 4 years and I was only at Roy for 3. But Brad was one of my players, right? And he was still a solidly built, and he is athletic.
Yeah.
He's solid, right?
Yeah.
His whole family is
all those
athletic.
Wojciechowski brothers are.
They're solid and they're athletic.
Yeah.
But so Brad was on our team, and I always felt bad for him because he played fullback for me. He was fast.
Yeah.
You couldn't get around him. But he was so much, and he's not tall, right?
No,
but
he's
he was
like
just
5'8".
so much. Yeah, he's just so much bigger than all those other high school kids that are kind of building into their bodies.
Yeah,
dude, he would send kids all over the park.
I can see that.
And he'd get a foul every single time. And it's like, come on, he's just a big guy.
He's
just strong, and
he's strong.
And he was the nicest guy.
Yeah, he'd knock you off the ball and kind of look at you. Sorry
about that, but you're kind of a soft kid.
Yeah, you are.
But he's just
Cheetos.
He was just a good. He was fortunate during that time frame to have a bunch of great kids that played there. I mean, just probably some of the most solid group of people I've ever been around as a whole.
Right.
And he definitely was kind of led the way. Then his brother John came on. I think John was 2 years younger than him, so we had both of those big dudes in the back. And then with those two, if this isn't unfair, we had a kid by the name of Andre Dyson who went on to play for the Tennessee Titans.
Oh yeah.
So we had those three in the back.
Oh.
And we had others as well, but I mean, just our defense was ridiculous. But Brad was awesome. Then he came up and played. I coached up at Weber State University, the men's program there for a little while, and he came up and played there. And then we just became, we were just friends, and just a great guy. So seeing him on the trail with Trail Manners gear just always holds that's going to always hold something special for me just because of our history there.
Yep.
And then, of course, we had to go into stories about the Jackson Hole tournaments because that's where Joel was from, and we had a men's team that went up, and Joel had a men's team, and that's kind of where we broke Brad into the men's level.
It was the first time you ever experienced a keg.
Yeah, that's what he said. That was his first story on the trail, which I felt bad for a second because I'm like, man, I kind of knew him when he was like in 10th grade, and then I introduced him to beer years later. He was legal. But it was just fun.
Well, Wyoming, you can be a little younger. Right?
Right. So anyway, it's always fun, and Brad and John, thanks for wearing our gear and supporting us and stopping to talk to us for a little bit too. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was always fun.
But yeah, I think that's the last thing we want to talk about is the Trail Manners brewer. We have our own brewer.
We do, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and the brewer has blown up.
She did
this week.
I know.
There's no secret now. Word's out.
It is out. So in the state of Utah, there's only 3 women that brew beer.
Yep.
Jackie is one of those 3. She's the only head brewer in the state of Utah.
That's awesome.
And within the U.S., I don't know what the numbers are, but I bet you there's just a handful.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. And you can read the article.
It's a good article. We'll post those on the website as well. I believe we kicked it out on social media, but it'd be nice to put it out again. I think the AP just picked it up, so she is nationwide.
She's nation and global, kind of like us.
Yeah.
Trail Manners Global. We haven't been picked up by AP, but we've been picked up by other people. OP.
Yeah.
OP. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
we'll leave it there. But yeah, she's awesome, and she's a trail runner.
Yep.
She's brewing the beer for the Trail Manners Festival.
That's right.
And we'll have the link because she's
a good kid.
She's awesome.
She's fun.
And I saw her just the other night. I had a friend come in town. I used to work at Smith Optics. Had a friend come in town, Vicky, who I love, and we went to met Slackwater, and Connor and Jackie came rolling in.
Right.
And I had my first beer. And then I was time to order number 2.
Right.
And I turned to Jackie. She was at the table next to me and said, all right, what are you drinking?
What was she drinking?
I can't remember, but
Was
I
it
had
Melvin?
one. No, it wasn't a Melvin.
Speaking of Melvin, okay, stop what you're doing now. Go find the 2x4.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Did you see that?
I did.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan did a 2x4. Now, I know most of our listeners are guys, and hopefully you're about the same age as Eric and I, so you'll appreciate this because this is your time frame. Hacksaw Jim Duggan did a 2x4 social media ad for those guys. It was awesome. Now, make sure it's your volumes down.
Yeah, it's Jim Duggan.
Loud.
Yeah. Well, when I first saw it, I didn't think it was him. I thought, oh, they got some
He
guy.
looks good.
Yeah. But I'm like, no, that's him.
That is totally him.
So that is funny off that. But yeah, so she's just awesome. So great on her, what she's doing.
I know.
And you're going to hear more about her, especially because this went worldwide too.
Yeah.
But
and when you come to the Trail Fest, you'll get to meet her.
Yeah. And drink a beer.
Drink her beer.
Specially brewed.
And it brings us to another good point. So I got an email from my buddy Don Mueller. He's a good guy, local guy. He goes, hey, are you guys going to have any of that good Rooster's root beer? And I said, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
For those people who don't drink beer,
Yeah.
we're going to have some good root beer for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we'll have stuff for everybody.
Yeah.
But the beer thing is something that it's close to us, and it's going to be a one-off, right?
It will be.
So that's why we talk about that.
Might be a seasonal thing.
But it should be, it's where it started that matters, right?
Right.
But yeah, we'll have something for everybody. This isn't just going to be about, the movie theater, the film and the park. There'll be stuff. So don't worry about that for sure. But great question. Thanks, Don. Thanks for buying tickets to the show.
Yeah.
Great to see you there. So I think that's pretty much it.
I think so.
For Singletrack Session number 22. It's been a great week. Got the snow, sleet coming down again, so I get to go back and brave the elements outside. And then we got the Gear Garage coming up this week for the egg weights. And then next week's show, where we launching again with 3-time returner Turtle Miller, which it's a good one. It's just some friendly banter a lot of times. So
he talks about his upcoming races in 2017.
And some struggles he's had as a runner.
Right.
Because he's kind of another one of those average runners, but he's got a good resume.
He does.
He's run a lot of big races.
Yep.
So he's just not another pretty face. Yeah, for sure. Especially with that new mustache, huh, Turtle? Anyway, thanks for listening. Singletrack Session number 22. Catch us on Gear Garage for the egg weights. And then again next week. Don't forget to hit us up on our website. We do have some gear left. We want to replenish our stock, so let's help sell out what we got.
Yep.
Post some photos. Start racing it now that race season's hit, right? There's some good stuff. So anyway, thanks for joining us. Have a safe weekend, and enjoy your run.